There's a bizarre phenomenon going in the United States right now, one that I chose not to report, thinking that it's going to go away. However, we're past a couple of weeks and people are still talking about it, so may as well mention it and give my 2 cents about it. As you can see, thousands of drones are flying over New Jersey, and people are filming it with their cameras. And it looks like this. There's like the tiny lights in the sky, and they're moving erratically. And so a lot of people are concerned. Like, what are they? What are they doing here? Now, on Twitter, as I'm watching this, all of a sudden people were saying that they're from Iran. Now, how do they know they're from Iran? Like, does it have the Iranian flag on them? Do Jewish people on the ground feel unnerved when the drone is flying over? Like, why do you say they're from Iran? And apparently, this rumor started by the U.S. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, which claimed that he has heard it from high sources that the flying objects were tied to Iran, that there is a mothership in the Atlantic, and the mothership is sending the drones. And this was debunked. Apparently, the Pentagon initial assessment said that they are not drones coming from a foreign entity or adversary. Which is bizarre. Like, the only way you can make that claim is if they're your drones. Doesn't that make sense? Like, because, like, if you have drones that are popping up in the sky, and you know nothing of them, like, how can you debunk the claim? Like, what you would want to do is you would get the senator in a committee, and you would ask them, okay, like, who are your high sources? What did they say? Why are you saying these things? Like, let's get to the bottom of it. So if you're not doing that, then the only other answer is that you know where the drones are coming from. Am I incorrect? Like, please explain to me how this makes sense, right? Like, imagine this, there are drones appearing in your garden, and your wife is scared, and it's like, well, these may be drones from the neighbor, and you're saying, no, they're not from the neighbor. Like, the only reason you'd say that is if you actually know where they're coming from, right? And so that's my theory. My theory is that the U.S. authorities know about these drones. We'll talk about what I think they are, but, like, before that, I want to say how people are reacting to it. I have seen video on Twitter with people trying to fire at the drones. And then, like, hundreds of thousands of people in the comment section going like, no, you must not fire in the sky. You're going to kill someone. Which is an interesting difference in culture. See, like, Romania doesn't have guns, so I genuinely do not know anything about gun safety. But what I do know is that when I look at Twitter, I get to see, like, those Middle Eastern weddings where they get married and people go, ah, la, 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 and then in the sky. You know, like, that is their culture. And then you see the opposite. Like, in the United States, if you have someone that fires a pistol in the sky, they're acting like it's an artillery round. Like they're firing mortar shells or something, you know? Again, I don't know which culture is right and which one is wrong, but I assume, yeah, like, don't fire at the drones, right? Like, that's a no-brainer. Because, like, you can't even hit them, even if you wanted to. Like, they're flying way too high in the air. Now, there was an individual that did post something interesting, and what's even more interesting to add to the conspiracy is that his account was terminated after posting. Apparently, he posted a picture of a drone, so, like, he had a high-tech camera, or maybe he flew a drone himself close to the sky. But he took a picture of the drone, and he said that he recognizes it as being a civilian drone that can be augmented to have, like, military application. And it's designed to sniff radioactive waste. So these would be deployed if there's, like, a dirty bomb or something. And this goes back to my initial theory that maybe it's the Pentagon's drones. Like, maybe they're aware of it and they're just running an exercise. Which, you know, like, it would make sense. So you're making a test to see, like, all right, if there was an event with a dirty bomb or something like that, how fast could we respond? What is the area we can cover? How long it would take to get all the data? How would the people react? Like, can we maintain public order? Can we make sure that people don't freak out about it? Can we make sure that the stock market doesn't collapse? So, like, this is a theory that I genuinely think is plausible, and it would make sense. The reason that I'm believing that it is the drones from the government, or at least the US knows about it, is that there's no fucking way that if this was like any foreign government, they wouldn't take them down by now. Like even Sleepy Joe, even him, right? Like even he would order that these drones be taken down. If they belong to China, if they belong to Iran, if they belong to Russia, like there is no way they would just allow them to fly willy-nilly over New Jersey. And so I do think that these are the drones from the government, yes. And I don't think that they're doing anything nefarious or anything like that, because everyone knows about them now. So like if something bad happens, everyone is looking at this. And so this is where my Eastern European brain comes in. And then I noticed that a lot of Americans realize that they're living in Eastern Europe too. Because the question that comes is like, okay, what are they distracting us from? And what I mean by this is like the mainstream media is covering this extensively, non-stop coverage. And so the other question, what else is going on right now that we shouldn't pay attention to? It's kind of funny because like every single time it happened in my country, like when the media was talking about something that's like sensational, but doesn't really affect you in any way, there was also something else that was happening in the background, like maybe a corruption scandal, maybe, you know, like maybe an important company was going bankrupt and people needed to have a little bit of time to play on the stock market, that type of thing. So yeah, like my question is like, what else is going on right now that we are being distracted from with this news? Because I don't think it has any significance. I don't think it's a big deal, and I definitely think that the drones will go away soon. It's just part of some military exercise. I mean, look at this, right? Like the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has established temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drone flights over Bedminster and Picatinny, and said it is investigating the report. So in other words, like this can actually cause some economic damage. I don't know what the cost of rerouting plane flights is, but usually these plane flights are designed to be peak efficient when it comes to fuel consumption. So like making planes go other ways, it costs them money. So there's no way that they would allow this if it was like some foreign drones just like being in the sky and disrupting plane activity. They also warned that drone operators who conduct unsafe or dangerous operation could face fines and have their drone pilot certificate revoked. Right, so in other words, leave these drones alone, right? Like, don't fly your own civilian drones close to them because it's dangerous and unsafe and you can get fined. So yeah, this is pretty much what I think. I do believe that this is just a military exercise. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.